How am I going to do this without... So jank. That's bad. That's probably too loud. Today I am going to be upcycling a jumper into a baker's boy hat. So, backstory. I had a lovely orange jumper that I bought from a charity shop for about £8, I think. And I was very excited because it's 100% wool. This may be obvious what happened. Very comfy, nice fit, I enjoyed it very much. And then I washed it. And it's, well, yeah, it shrunk. And all the fibres have felted together. I'm not too sad about this because I like washing things in the washing machine. So in some ways a blessing in disguise. I've bought this pattern off Etsy. It was very cheap. Some of the reviews are, what's the word? Critical. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully this should only take a couple of days. I have a funny feeling that it'll be too big because a lot of people on the reviews for the pattern said it came up big. But I have a big head. I'll probably get halfway through and realise that I don't have all the notions for it. I know I don't have a cover button. I'm not going to go out and buy one cover button, so I'll figure out how to do that later. So I'm going to piece the pattern together, cut it out, and take apart the jumper, and then see how it goes. Bye. I started out by printing out everything on A4. This pattern doesn't utilise space very well. I've got 4 bits of paper just for the hat band. I could have just measured it. Cut out the various pieces that I needed and then started taking apart the jumper. Oh my god, is it Minky? I tried to seam rip along each of the seams to use as much fabric as possible, but then I gave up and just cut it, which left me with this much fabric to make the hat with. Next was trying to find various notions for the hat. That includes interfacing, lining, and buttons. Hello, cat. That. Somewhere in the depths, I found some interfacing. These are my various meagre offerings of interfacing. However, I did also find some stuff for the lining, but I'm going to figure out if I have enough interfacing. So I have this, which I don't think I'll ever use for anything else, but it's woven, so it should be better at stopping stretch or whatever. So I'm going to cut out these pieces from the top fabric. I didn't have to worry too much about the direction of the fabric when I was cutting out these pieces. As it's wool, it's all felted together anyway. So the fibres won't necessarily stretch too much, and there's no obvious direction to it, unlike with something like velvet or cord or something more interesting. I did mark the back and the front, although you couldn't really tell the difference between the two. Just for peace of mind, I decided to just mark them. So, managed to get all of the pieces out of the jumper. I might make something else with all the fabric. Theoretically, as it is 100% wool, it could go in the compost, but because I am not sure about the thread, I'm not going to do that. I could shred it up, but I think I'd rather hedge my bets. It's still recycling, it's not gone straight to landfill. So next is interfacing everything. Yeah. So I set about interfacing all of the pieces. Put a pin in this, we will come back to it. This is a very rogue way of doing this, don't do it like this. Now, I decided to mark the sewing lines on each of these pieces because they were a little bit uneven from how I'd cut them out of the jumper fabric. I pinned them together along the seam lines in the hopes that they would match up. Sometimes it was more successful than others. You'll notice here
that this is looking a bit stiff, and I'm thinking to myself, this is a bit wrong. Again, we'll come back to this. I sewed all the hat pieces together one at a time. Read the pattern, because it actually called to do 4 pieces, then 4 pieces, then down the middle.
First unpick. I don't know how they're not... That one's not lining up at the top. I don't know. Oh, hello. Come to have a look, have we? Hello, darling. So shit. Oh dear. You can come in if you want.
Oh, bye. Good boy.
Give me crisps or give me down.
How's that? That's pretty good, eh?
Side note, if your sewing machine sounds like that, take it to a service. This is my aunt's old sewing machine, which is more reliable than the one I bought a few years ago.
How this managed to go through. Yes!
Truly winning the bobbin gamble. So after putting 4 pieces together each side, I then sewed it down the middle.
Let's have a look.
And it was ready for the first try on.
So. I think we're gonna trust the process. You know, it could be cute. I look like a Mario brother. This is nothing. So yeah, I'm gonna interface the brim, attach it to the cap, and then attach that. I look kind of nuts. I am the Pope.
I am the Pope.
Anyway, that's that. You have to show the class.
She looks like Suleiman from Civ 5. From history, but also from Civ 5.
That's just a man in a turban.
It's not a turban. It's not a turban. It's a special kind of hat. Have a good picture of Suleiman, and then you, and then a Wikipedia article that proves me right. Thanks.
Or not, as the case may be.
Right.
This is buckram, which I ironed flax that had been in my stash for about 6 years. I cut it out without the seam allowance so it would sit inside the brim and not add more bulk.
Oh, they're not interfaced. Not interfaced, huh?
So once all 3 of those were pinned into place, I just sewed around the front, trimmed the seams,
Don't do it like I did.
top stitched the brim just to keep the seam allowances to one side.
Dear too. It's been probably over a week. So this is where we're up to. Brim is all put together, done some top stitching, under stitching, shite, done some basting, so that's ready to go. I put the brim together again, don't know if it'll work, might need to use some spare fabric to make a replacement, but we'll see, should be fine. I've got about 3 hours to do a bit on it. I'm gonna try and put the brim onto the band and then check the fit, because if it's huge I'd know now. Probably should have done that before putting the main body together. Anyway, let's jump right into it.
Because I pieced the hat band and didn't do it as one full piece of fabric, I had to jimmy it around a little bit and not do it exactly how the pattern said.
Moment of truth.
But with that in place, I can now move on to sandwiching the brim in the bands.
Oh. Right.
So I had to mark out another band, cut it out, so thank God I had some spare fabric. And then once that was in...
Is the other remaining cat band C on the cat band? Cat... Please... What? Right. Place the other remaining cat band. Place the other... What? Are these both right size together then? So you're going on there.
I don't know if it's a me thing or a pattern thing. Probably a me thing, considering that a couple of the things that went wrong were due to me not reading the pattern properly. Equally though, some phrasing of this was a bit confusing.
I have to trim that. Let's do that now. I do want to do some understitching. I could do that now. Yeah.
I decided to understitch the brim because the amount of bulk caused by the fabric being so chunky meant that it was sitting weird and it was poking out.
So, the next stage is basting it together and then going back to the crown. So I thought I would try it on to see if it is too big, because if it is, now would be the time to change it. So, let's have a look. I mean, it's fine. I think it is too big, because if I were to just... This isn't the look. I can't be asked to undo all of the work that I've already done, so I'm just going to be lazy and take it out the middle of the back. So I'm going to pin it in place, sew it up at the back and recheck the fit. Bye. We're back. I've taken out in total, whatever that much is, nearly 2 inches, a non-zero amount. In fairness, I did use the large size. So anyway, this is how it looks now. Ta-da. Better, and it feels like it won't fall off my head. Next stage is adding the crown and possibly lining it as well. Stay tuned. Crown. I've not even thought about tackling this top bit, to be honest. Kind of just want to get it attached. So because I've taken out 2 inches or so of this, I'm going to see if it's going to fit. It might not. We'll see. I've pinned it in. Some of them will need more easing than others. Also, it's at this point that I've realised that you didn't need to interface the cap part, which is why I look like the Pope. So, lesson learned. I'm hoping that maybe it will just fall into place and just be a bit more of a rigid hat. But if I were to make this again, I would read the pattern.
I checked how everything was going to look by flipping the inside up, and then it was ready for another fitting.
Right. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, it's bad. Back once again. Oh jeez. So, read your pattern. This is closer to it. I need to press all of the seams in the crown. I'm going to do that. Kind of bored of doing this bit, so I might just do the lining now. Why not both? Let's do both.
Doing the lining was a lot more straightforward. A, the fabric is thinner, and B, I'd already done it once. So you literally just construct it the exact same as the last one.
Now, I'm not proud of that. Not the best match for the world, but it doesn't matter because it's the lining. Who cares?
I used the ham to press all of the seams inside the hat.
So I've had another go at this, but now I've got to try and get all of this under the sewing machine and try and kind of line it up in the middle. I don't think it's going to happen. Let's just give it a go. Well, it could be worse. It is down the middle. Ooh, you know what? That might be alright. Rogue phone footage, but I'm going to try and take out some of the bulk in this part of the hat. At the moment it's sort of doing a weird shape, so I think I'm going to try and just flatten it out a bit. Yeah, so my plan here, I'm just going to try and taper it in a bit. Maybe that'll do something, I don't know. What is it? Okay.
By rounding out this corner, it did mean that I had extra bulk. I snipped out the old seam and then trimmed the new seam allowances, pressed it open again. I then attached the lining to the main body of the hat just by sewing it around the second brim piece, leaving a small bit unsewn so that I could turn the whole thing through.
This is where it always goes a bit wrong. This is not gonna happen. Yep.
Obviously leave more space than I did. I didn't need to leave as little as that.
Lining is in, but at what cost? In theory, this is the finished garment.
After pressing the part where I turned it through, I was able to pin it in place and hand sew it down.
Well, I've got the hand sewing stuff out. I might as well sort of tack down some of this, just so that it naturally doesn't want to pop out.
I sewed the inner hat band to the outer body by stitching right in the ditch of the seam, where each of the seams met the crown and the brim. I decided to make my own cover button. Like I said, I didn't want to go out and buy just one, so I just gathered a piece of the felt around a random button that I had. And then I sewed that right down the middle of the top of it, hiding all of my various seam crimes. And after that was on, it was all done.
Off you then. B-roll. I'm on this side. It's great because the audio's going to get cut anyway. See right here.
We went on a lovely walk. We came from over there, and it's been raining for 2 weeks. This is my hat that I made, and the jumper I made, and the gloves that I made. I look like a randomised sim. There's lovely ambience, lovely river, lovely A-road.
Final thoughts. Happy with the hat. Lessons we've learned, I think we've already covered to some extent at least. I wish I had made a smaller size, maybe the medium, and didn't interface the main body of it. However, I do enjoy it. I enjoy it. Historically, I don't suit hats, but I am very happy with how this one has turned out. I'll probably wear it more. But yeah, very happy. This is the first time that I've done any sort of long form content. My goal this year is to keep myself more accountable of finishing projects, because I am very prone to starting things and not finishing them, as I feel is quite relatable. So I wanted to film this in order to look at the process start to finish and sort of give myself motivation to do something start to finish without starting something else in the middle. So I think I've achieved that. Thank you for watching this video. It's the first time I've done something like this, so if you did enjoy it, and I'd like to think you have if you've made it all the way this far, please do like the video. I will aim to do more videos sometimes. Quick plug to my Instagram page, which is where I'll be posting other finished projects, more upcycling things, or doing things on the cheap, or doing things that will last longer than you would if you just bought them in the shop, and not always stuff that I'll make videos about. So yeah, drop me a follow. Go over to there if you use Instagram and would like to keep up to date with all these kind of things. I also have an Etsy shop, which again, updated sometimes, but you can support me by buying things through that if you want. Up to you, don't have to. So yeah, thank you again, quite sincerely. If I enjoy the process of this, I will make more. Maybe. Probably. Okay, bye.
You're looking at me like I'm just talking absolute drivel. Just dreck. Just nothing. This is content.